Oh, I lost my grip. All right, so we've got the aft pole, the rear intermediate. The forward intermediate would be this one. This is nothing. There's the 3-inch valance over there. The top still has to be trimmed for side, but let's go ahead and sew some zipper. So for the aft, I'm going to need 2 6-footers going out from the middle, and the other 2 just a 10-footer going across. So we go over to the zippers, and I'm going to grab 2 6-footers for the aft and 2 10-footers. We only carry 6 and 10. For the intermediates. Wake up the old console. Dual lights now. All right, let's cut this off and make it another segment. What do we got? That's the aft. Those are the 2 intermediates. So this is the aft. I need the outside of the aft. Here are my 6-foot zippers. Make sure that we're on the crown side, or on the inside of the crown. So we're sewing the zipper side, of course. We'll be brave and do this with no tape. Here we go with, again, we're going to sew the female on the pouch and the male on the bimini. Yeah, I will burn it after. A little bit of separation so that you can get them started. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Now the other one's a little trickier because if you start it down here where you think it should end, like if I cut the 2 to the same length, okay, that would be one way to approach it. Cut this one so that I had started out here and sew. Well, what if you stretch and now it's too long? Now you got to cut it all loose again. So in this instance, because I want the head here, you always zip out toward the edges, okay? So in this instance, I am going to use the tape. The scrap does me no good, so we're going to salvage the pull. In this instant, we're going to use the double stick tape. I always want to use as little as possible because it gets gunk in the machine. But using pins is going to slow you down. And staples the same way. So the tape is just quicker. It's quick to put on. It holds it in place while you can just blow by it with a needle. And in some instances, it actually helps waterproof because it gums up the thread as the thread goes through and kind of seals it up. All right, so now we would start with the head where we want it. And again, putting the female on the pocket and the male a little bit closer together. There we go. The male goes down on the bimini. And if you think about it, when you're trying to zip the two together, when you have the zipper, the slider in your hand, it's a lot easier to try and find the male when you have it on the slack piece. Well, the bimini top should be taut, so it should not be slack at all. That means the pocket is the slack piece. Therefore, the slider should always be on the pocket. Just give this a gradual bend around the corner. Where's it at? There it is. Now, of course, because it is a live edge near a zipper, we're going to burn hell out of it, because all those little strings will get caught up. And if you've got a good hot knife like this with Demand, it really doesn't take that long to hard burn this whole thing. Come on, I gotta get it to stand up here. It's a big one. Yeah, see the bigger boats, everything is just harder to handle. All right, there we go. Get out here on the end because I'm going to roll that over just for good looks. All right, I did have the machine cranked down. We're going to crank it up a notch. Oh, there it is. So on that isinglass for the reclamation boat, I slowed the needle down. All right, here we go. extra stitching on the starter boxes because they do take a little extra abuse. There you go. I can smell the glue burning. You know you're spinning fast when you can smell the glue. All right, now we're gonna flip it over and tape the undersides before we sew it to the top, because it's so much easier to do it now than after you tape it or after you've sewn it to the bimini top, because this will be the underside now. The top side we'll tape when we assemble, and then burn it when it's assembled to the whole thing, and we burn all three pieces, the valance, the bimini, and the pocket. We'll really hard burn all those edges. For whatever reason, when I open up biminis for repair, the inside of the pocket is really tattered and lots of strings and a big snarled mess, unless the fabricator burnt all those really hard, and then it's really not. There's a few strings, but so I have taken that into my fabrication method where any inside pockets where multiple layers come together, and yeah, it's hidden from the customer and nobody sees it, but I know it's chafing and I know it's going to fray, and when the customer does need to open it, it's going to be a mess. So I take the 2 to 5 minutes that it's going to take to hard burn that edge. I mean, I torch it. There we go. All right, that was ready for fabrication. Goes over to the double. Next, what do we got here? Because it's marked twice, I know this is the aft. The aft intermediate, which is a good way to tell them apart, I guess. This one is going to be 1 zipper all the way across. I believe it's probably 8 foot. Yeah, this one was 8, the other one is 7. And again, we'll put the box where the female is on the pouch. Sew it on the right side, facing the wrong way. Bottom one steers this way, top one is just trying to keep them up against the walking foot. These teeth ride really nice right up against it.